Hey, good morning, guys. It's me, Chip. So I'm sitting here in my office, and today is March 2nd, and I realized it has been 1 year since the accident I had where I injured my neck. And I just want to kind of give everybody an update. I know I've had a lot of people ask how things are going, so kind of fill you in on the journey. So let me get back over here. Actually, a year ago today, I was at work and I fell off the back of an ATV. So when I fell off the ATV, I landed straight up and down, right on the back of my head. Forced my head down into my chest. Actually broke my wisdom teeth. When I first got up from the accident, I thought, well, it's not a big deal. I got a bump on my head. I was a little dazed. You took a hard lump on the head. So I thought, well, not a big deal. Didn't even really feel anything really happening in my neck at that time. Decided, shake it off. Probably stupid of me, but then got on my motorcycle and I was getting ready to take my hour and a half ride home. About 20 minutes into my ride home, my teeth started to chatter like I was like cold, like when you're icy cold, your teeth chatter, and it was uncontrollable and I couldn't stop it. Thought it was a little weird because it wasn't cold out. It was nice weather. Get a little bit down the road further, start feeling a vibration in the front end of my motorcycle. Thought there was something wrong with my bike. Pulled over to get off, and I realized my shoulders and neck were just shaking. And I couldn't stop it. I couldn't control it. At that point, I'm in the middle of Route 46, which is a dark road, not a place to stop really. So I just try to push myself further to get home. Did make it home, but by the time I got home, I was in a full body shudder. Couldn't control any of my actions. I couldn't even speak. I stuttered horribly. My wife, of course, realized there was something wrong and rushed me to the emergency room. At that point, they did some tests on me. They sent me for some CAT scans and X-rays and all that. They gave me some muscle relaxers, which did stop the all the shaking, the convulsions. And then they sent me home to they with the understanding that I was going to follow up with the doctor on Monday. Went to the doctors on Monday, told them, hey, look, I've, took the fall, explained what happened, just really sore, couldn't really move my neck, didn't have a lot of range of motion, had lots of pain up through my shoulders and the center of my back. So he looked at the test from the hospital, they had access to that through some system that they use. And he said, yeah, nothing's broken, nothing's bleeding internally. You'll probably be fine. We're going to get you some physical therapy and so forth and so on. Well, I went for a couple of sessions of physical therapy. It did help with some of my range of motion. I didn't regain it all. He put me on some anti-inflammatories to get the swelling down. That didn't work. Well, I did. I mean, it got the swelling down to a certain point, but it seemed to stop at one point. They sent me to see a specialist and a surgeon for the neck. Neck surgeon just basically told me that, hey, look, you're 60 years old. You're gonna have to live with the pain. We're gonna put you on pain management, and that was not an option that I was willing to consider. So I asked my insurance company for a second opinion, to be able to get a second opinion, and they sent me to a surgeon who said, "Oh, son, you got some issues here," and very went through all the things with me and showed me some problems in my neck, down the lower vertebrae in my neck, where a bunch of pinched nerves, collapsed discs, and everything. He said, hey, look, we're going to get you some surgery. We'll contact your insurance company. At which time my insurance company kind of backed out. They basically said, nah, we've done a peer review. We've had another doctor look at your test, and, we don't deem the surgery as necessary. So unfortunately, that left me in kind of a quandary. I'm in a lot of pain. I can't do the things that I normally would enjoy. Limited to how much I can ride my motorcycle. I even, my time at home on the computer, I have to lay flat on the floor, hold the computer on my chest, and look up at it because I can't look down at it while I'm working. Lots of different things, fatigue like a long car ride, just tire out easily. And I didn't sleep. For the first 8 months of my injury, I got maybe 1 or 2 hours sleep a night. Eventually started having to take something to help me sleep at night, which I was able to maybe get 6-7 hours sleep. But because of the pain, not ever being able to be comfortable, so got past that. So I went to, I had to start looking for options on my own. I got very fortunate. A friend that had a previous neck injury recommended Upper Cervical Care Center in Melbourne. And I was able to get an appointment. It's something, I guess, you have to get a referral. You got to get in. I was able to get an appointment, and they looked at me. They did a very in-depth examination. They did a very a lot of X-rays. I mean, just they had me this way, that way. Did a bunch of X-rays. Different on their X-rays. The backdrop has a bunch of angles and numbers and charts built in, so when they look at your X-ray, they're able to take certain measurements. So I learned a lot I mean, not only are they able to help me there, but I learned a lot about my neck. And so it turns out that a lot of my problem, even though I did have some issues down here, a lot of it stemmed from up here where I hit my head. So apparently you have something in your head actually sits on a bone called the atlas, and it's kind of shaped like this, and the skull just sits on that. It has a hole in the bottom of your skull where your spinal cord goes through, and then of course you have a hole in the top of the atlas that goes down into your spinal cord. Well, evidently when I fell, I actually lifted my head up off of that bone. I moved it, I guess it was forward and to the side, and then put it back down on top of it. So therefore, of course, my neck was a little twisted, but also now the hole in the bottom of the skull and the hole in the atlas bone that goes into the spinal cord don't line up. It's kind of offset, and like I said, the amount of my skull was moved was quite a bit. So now my spinal cord is being pinched because it doesn't have enough room to move. So that's where a lot of my discomfort was coming from. The other thing, of course, like I said, even the X-rays and CAT scans showed some collapsing down here. But after getting the upper cervical, this atlas, knocked into place, they were able to start fixing the lower vertebrae. So this might sound like a commercial for upper cervical, but listen, I've been in pain for almost a year. Well, today will be a year. I've had horrible muscle spasms. I haven't been able to sleep. I have, in only 3 treatments, been able to sleep without medication. I rode my motorcycle for a half hour this morning with no pain, which, I could ride for half an hour prior, but it was uncomfortable. I would start to get fatigued, start to get cramps between my shoulder blades. So I feel like I'm on the road to recovery. So I again, I don't want it to sound like a commercial for upper cervical, but they did help me immensely. I've only had 3 visits. I've got quite a bit more to go back for. There's still a lot of work they need to do, but I've gone from not being able to sleep, not being able to ride my motorcycle, not being able to even sit and look at my laptop, to being comfortable. I actually had to take a long car ride the other day. Usually 4 or 5 hours in a car would kill me. I actually drove for over 12 hours straight for 2 days in a row, no problems, which I couldn't have done 2 months ago. So I just wanted to give you an update where I'm at, how things are going. I guess if you have any questions about my process, feel free to ask. But I feel like I have some hope that I can at some point be back to normal. I can actually move my neck somewhat, which I couldn't do before, and I couldn't tilt my head this way. I couldn't look this way without getting horrible pains in the middle of the shoulder. So as you can see, I can do that now. So I've made really good progress. I'm very happy with that progress that I've made. So I look forward to continued help there. But again, if you guys have any questions about what I've been through or how I got relief, and if maybe you have some neck injury, whatever, and you need some help, I'd be happy to make a referral for you. But guys, we'll talk to you real soon. Bye.